Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Sketchfest. I am your host. Well, one of them. I'm Chelsea.
I'm Jake.
And today, we've got a little bit of a special guest, right? Just a little. He's a little special.
I am special. My mom said so.
Look, first of all, I didn't even introduce you yet. So, jot that down. Today, we have our new sound guy. His name is Dan. So, hey, Dan, I guess.
Hi.
Everyone thank Dan.
Yeah, everyone thank Dan for this crispy audio that you're hearing. Hopefully, otherwise he's fired.
Facts.
And that's on period.
And that's on period.
We're trying to teach Dan some new lingos, some new vernacular, dare I say. I pulled out the vernacular word earlier and kind of blew some minds in this house right now.
Yeah,
so,
I was surprised.
Yeah, it was shocking, right?
Yeah, extremely shocking vocabulary for sure.
Me knowing a word, unheard of. Fucking unheard of.
Facts.
I know. So anyways, so yeah, now we've got me, Jake, and we've got Dan, who's our sound guy now. We are working on building kind of like a team. So at some point we will have a few more people on our little staff, I guess. I think it's weird to say staff because it's not like a business, but it's like my thing, you know?
No, it's a business.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, you
business.
kind of have to think of it at that way, at
Well,
least to some degree.
I do agree, but I like to think of it more as like my like baby than a business. But I guess a business can be your baby. But
Being a mom is a
now,
job. It's a job, though.
It is a job, and I am a mom, so I do know that.
So if this is your baby, this is a
That was
business.
like a 2 at best.
Well, I was trying to make it quiet.
Well, you should have made it loud.
Definitely amplifying it in the final mix.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have one rule here on Sketchfest, and that is that you burp in the mic every single time.
Gotcha.
Okay? So that we can all fucking rate it. But that was terrible. You know what? I hated that. I'm mad at you for that one. Anyway, what was I saying?
That this is your baby and that it's not a business.
Not yet. But like, I am predicting that Sketchfest is going to take off, especially with how the rest of this year is going to go. So right now we are recording this in 2022, but you're not going to be hearing this until 2023. So we're stocking up on episodes, but we do have a lot of like really interesting guests coming on the show eventually. So stay tuned for those because they're going to be fucking sick. Absolutely sick. But I am predicting that Sketchfest is going to take off. And then we're just going to work from home. I love my day job. Don't get me wrong.
What
But
if I already do work from home?
what the hell? Well, first of all, fuck you. Okay.
Well, I'm lucky.
Yeah, you are lucky, asshole. Okay, so let's just get into today's episode. So today we're going to be talking about haunted Ohio. So if you guys don't know, we live in Ohio, and Ohio has quite the haunted history. So we want to take some time and kind of like talk about these haunted buildings and places, and just like dissect them, because I am a big fan of paranormal shit. We were just talking about it before we press record, but like, I love me some ghosties.
They're pretty cool.
I don't know, man. I just love them.
I love getting ghosted.
I'm sure you get that a lot.
I do.
And that's on period.
And it's on period. I'm learning.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You got a splash of the tism, so.
You know, honestly, I'm still on always in like a constant back and forth between like I believe him, I don't believe in ghosts, I do believe in ghosts. Like, I don't know.
So that's actually a really valid point that you just brought up, because
because you can't like entirely prove it.
That is correct.
Like even like any like video or whatever, who knows?
Yeah, so like ghosts are interesting because like they cannot be proven. But I mean, if you think about it, it's just like religion. Like you can't prove that any of those motherfuckers were here.
No.
But it is interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So like for me, I grew up Catholic, and like Catholicism goes hard sometimes, but like I don't follow it. Like it fucks for sure.
I've never heard anybody describe Catholicism as a
have you ever seen a goddamn stained glass window?
That's like the only cool part. That's the only cool part.
Okay. And that's enough.
That doesn't even have to involve like the religion though. It's just whoever the glassworker is.
I don't give a goddamn. I don't care. I don't care if that motherfucker wasn't Catholic.
I wish like a stained like a glass window like that could be like every single window of my like house, you know?
Well, do you want to fuck around and find out? Because we can probably play with glass.
Yeah.
Period.
Like my grandma used to do it.
Why are you looking at me like that?
I was zoned out.
Anyways, Catholicism goes hard. And I don't even know where I was going with that. So I don't know how we segued off into this, but
that's a great segue into.
This is a great. Oh, we were talking about ghosts.
Yeah, we were talking about ghosts.
We were talking about ghosts. Anyways, so like I don't know if I believe them, but I think it's fucking sick to think about. And what I was getting at is
like it's really cool.
Yeah, and like what I was getting at is like the fact that I grew up Catholic, which is like whatever. Obviously, I don't follow it now because look at me. Right? Do I look like a Catholic bitch?
You'd be surprised.
No.
Do I look like a Catholic bitch? Anyways, so I think it's cool because like I hate religion and like
that would be really funny though.
I grew up religious, I guess. Well, let me not say that because that would mean that I would have to.
Were you baptized?
I was baptized. I had my first communion, all that jazz.
I never had any sort of type of religion ever like put in my face like ever. So like it's really.
Well, how's it feel to be the favorite?
Pretty awesome.
Anyways, I am not religious, but I do think sometimes the Bible's pretty sick. Have you guys ever heard of Revelation 6:8?
I try to forget my days in Catholic school.
I've never.
Your boy was also confirmed.
I've honestly never read the Bible. I've never read it.
Okay, well, Revelation 6:8 is sick because like the Bible's so fucking.
You've read it like front to back?
No. Well, maybe I don't know. I can't remember half of my childhood, but Revelation 6:8 is cool because it talks about like some real spooky shit. So it's that like verse where it's like, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and the name that sat upon him was Death, and hell followed with him. That I think I just spoke Simlish. Did I just summon something?
I think you just spoke Catholic, dog.
I did speak Catholic. Ew. Anyway,
you just had one of those like fucking like.
Look,
Jesus.
If you're Catholic, that's fine. If you're religious, that's fine. I was also raised Catholic, so I feel like I'm allowed to talk about this. Are you burping off of the camera?
No, I was vaping.
Okay, period. I was about to get real mad. I'm really fucking high energy right now. I'm so sorry.
It's been like this the whole time.
You're welcome. Anyways, so like if you're Catholic or if you're religious, that's fine. We're not making fun of you, but yeah. I was raised Catholic, so I feel like if anyone's going to make fun of it, I feel like I have a little bit of I guess right.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
I have a little bit of
zero.
right.
I've been to like churches and stuff like that, but like because like I used to have to go with like my fucking grandparents and stuff, but like I just never like. Every time I went, I was like, "This is no, I don't want a fucking beer, dude."
So it's interesting because like I don't know. I feel like ghosts are kind of like religion, where it's like it's cool to think about, but like I don't know if any of it's real.
Yeah, it's so hard
to
like.
Drop.
Please don't. These are expensive.
Fine.
Like you want to believe it. Like you want to believe they're real, but it's just not. There's just no way to really.
Have I ever had my ghost talk spiel with you?
No, I don't think so.
Take that as a hard no.
No.
So. First of all, first things first is one time I went viral on TikTok because of this. And I think it's interesting, right? So you guys know is it the first or I don't know. But anyway, there's like a law of thermodynamics where energy can't be created or destroyed, right?
Yes. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So this law of thermodynamics says that energy can't be created or destroyed, but only dispersed. So my hypothesis, and let me stress that I'm saying hypothesis. And if you don't know what hypothesis means, it means a gathering or a collection of ideas. That doesn't mean it's fact. So get off my nuts. Anyway, my hypothesis is that when people die, obviously your energy that's in your body cannot be destroyed. So it goes out into the fucking world, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And then it becomes a ghost. So like, you know how like whenever you do like EVPs or shit like that, it's literally like electronic voice phenomenon or whatever.
Something like
It
that.
has to
EMF, I don't remember. EMF? Is that what it is?
I don't know. No, it's EVP.
EVP?
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Okay. I don't know, honestly.
I know that for sure.
I
I
have
know
no
it's
idea.
EVP. But that has to be converted through energy. So it's like if you're fucking around with a ghost, and I'm putting up my air quotes, okay? If you're fucking around with a ghost and you got some EVPs going on, obviously there's some sort of energy going on there, right?
Yeah,
Okay? So tell me what the fuck that is. It's a ghost.
I guess.
But I just think it's weird. So I have like this big weird spiel about it, and like I can go on for days talking about this, but it's like you die, your energy goes out into the world, whatever, and it waits for a new host or like a baby, right? That's why they say like reincarnation.
Yeah.
Because it can't be destroyed. So I'm a firm believer that ghosts are just fucking energy, and like they're not all bad. But I will say I think it's kind of strange how like ghosts always seem to be in like the Victorian era. Like what happened there?
Yeah,
What-
dude. I want
what
to
happened?
see some like
I wanna see early
I mean, not
2000s.
necessarily, because I've seen some like videos where it's like people looking like from like this era, you know. I mean, like
I want to
this
see early
regular people.
2000s Britney Spears-esque ghosts.
I just honestly hope that I see a ghost that like tries to bum a cigarette from me in the middle of Cleveland. Like I want to see something real, because that's real. That's facts.
That is facts. And I would shit my pants in like a delightful way if I saw like a homeless man esque.
It's like even
Ghost.
even
Or
though
woman.
like if
Or
you
woman. We
even
don't
if you like
discriminate.
saw them though, like who knows, like what if they just look like a normal like human though, like you know what I mean, like actually
You
like,
know what that is?
well
You know what that
that's
is?
hold on, I actually know that.
No, we literally just talked about this
I
kind
know.
of.
Oh yeah, it's just like this
The flesh pedestrian.
yeah, flesh.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the word.
Yep. Flesh pedestrian.
Yeah.
This is literally like the story of my house all over again.
Look.
First separate episode.
Look. Anyway, let's get the fuck back on topic. So we're talking about haunted Ohio today, and we've got a few places that we want to share with you. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So the first one that I want to talk about is one that I hold, I guess, dear to my heart because I grew up next to it, right? So I grew up in Ohio City, which is like, now it's like a little like hipster town, I guess, in Ohio. It's just Cleveland. It's literally just Cleveland, but it's like a little, I don't want to say suburb because it's not a suburban area, but it's like a little hipster town now because it's been gentrified. But down the street from where I grew up, there is this castle, right? Is what they call it. And I'm doing air quotes. I wish you guys could see me. So it's a castle, and it really is just like an old Victorian home that was built with like bricks and stones, and it looks like very castle-esque. But it's spooky. It's a spooky motherfucking place.
Doesn't it got like one of like the spiral tower thingies or whatever?
I think I have never personally been inside of it, but I have always I used to sit outside of it, just like in the front, and just like look at stuff. But
It's like no one's lived there in a while, right?
no one has lived there in a while. Well, I think someone owns it now, and they were renovating it recently so that they could live in it and or sell it or something. I don't know. But this place is really, really spooky. And even those dudes from, what's that show? The Paranormal, was Zach Bagans?
I have no idea.
Fuck.
The only one that comes to mind is like Paranormal Activity.
That's
no,
what I
that's
was
a
just
movie.
like-
That's a movie.
Ghost
Hunters?
Hunters. Is it Ghost Adventures or
I think
Hunters?
it's Ghost
I
Adventures.
think it's. Isn't there Ghost Hunters though too?
I don't know.
I'm gonna fucking find out.
Oh, woo!
That was a 7.
I almost threw up on that one.
I'm gonna say
But anyways, wherever it's from, they had Zach Bagans there, and these
Who's
motherfuckers
Zach
came.
Bagans?
Oh my god!
Wasn't he the dude that said, "Eat my ass, spirits"?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's Ghost Adventures,
So,
by the way. It's
Ghost Adventures.
Ghost
Okay.
Adventures? Okay.
So Ghost Adventures is like a little group of dudes that like go chase ghosts or whatever. But they came to the
Wait, didn't they
Franklin
have Post
Castle.
Malone on that show too?
I don't fucking know. I don't watch
I'm
it.
pretty
I just
positive
think
they
it's
did.
funny because I always see like memes of like Zach Bagans being fucking weird, and like they say like "eat my ass."
I've
ghost,"
seen
or
like
whatever.
the memes of them. I never like watch it.
So like
honestly.
they're just fucking weirdos. And every time I have watched that show, it's always funny because like obviously they film in the dark and they've got their like their night vision shit on, but they
Yeah.
just look like fucking nerds. They just look like bright white eyes and they're just telling ghosts to like eat their ass, and I'm just like, it's everything, but I just don't watch it.
Can you imagine watching from afar, like just like in the background, just like watching these people just like in the woods, just
You're just like why?
like hello, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you're literally just like taking your dog out to piss and you see these fucking neckbeards standing in the woods with like night vision goggles on. Like, hello? Anyway, so we're going to talk about the Franklin Castle first. So I'm going to read about, I guess, like the history of it first, and then I'll kind of talk about like what I heard about it growing up. But this place is like, it's a really, really beautiful place. But anyways, so I am reading this off of what is this? A website called exemplar.com. But anyways, so it says Hans Tiedemann and early history of Franklin Castle. A lot of these places that we're going to talk about are pretty cool because there's like a lot of people in this, especially this like I guess story, that a lot of like roads are named after now because of these people. So like Tiedemann is a road that is fairly close to us right now. Mm-hmm. And then there was an architectural firm called Cadell and Richardson, and there's like a whole place in Lakewood. It's like a little tiny town within Lakewood called Cadell. But anyways, Franklin Castle, officially called Tiedemann House, was built in 1881 through 1883 by the well-known architectural firm Cadell and Richardson. This was commissioned by a prosperous German immigrant named Hans Tiedemann. This house boasts 4 stories, over 20 rooms, and 80 windows. And like, maybe after this is posted, we'll post some like pictures of it on our Instagram. So if you're not following us, you should follow us at Sketchfest Podcast. No, I was going to say at gmail.com, but no, this is on Instagram. But you can also email us if you want. I don't care. I am fucking cracked out right now. So I'm so sorry to the listeners and YouTube. Well, actually, fuck y'all. I don't care.
Rude.
I was talking to my guests, not
She was talking to you. Don't let her fool you.
I wasn't talking to my little friends listening. Just these fuckers sitting on my couch. You goddamn fuckers. You fuckers. All right. Anyways, so several family members passed away during the time the Tiedemann family lived in the house. In 1891, Emma, the 15-year-old daughter of Hans and Louise Tiedemann, died from complications of diabetes. Not long after, Tiedemann's mother, Wybecca, also passed away. Hans and Hans and Louise.
Wait, where was Hans from again? Did it say?
He was German.
Yeah, it's Hans.
Well, no. Yes, German immigrant.
That's Hans.
Hans. So Hans and Louise lost 3 more children during their time in the house. While living in Franklin Castle, Louise Tiedemann also passed away, allegedly from medical complications. Rumors spread that Tiedemann was responsible for his wife's death, but more rumors would later spread that he was involved in the deaths of several other women, including his niece and supposed mistress.
Spooky.
Ooh. On January 15th, 1891, Tiedemann's 15-year-old daughter Emma succumbed to diabetes. The house saw its second death just weeks later when Hans Tiedemann, elderly mother Wybecca, passed away. During the next 3 years, the Tiedemann family would bury 3 more children, giving rise to speculation that there was more to these deaths than met the eye. Rumors spread of Mr. Tiedemann's involvement in the untimely deaths of his family members. Many witnesses have reported hearing the ghostly cries of babies in the house. Perhaps these babies have some unfinished business in the home where they were born and also died.
Dun, dun, dun.
Soon after these tragedies, Mr. Tiedemann began extensive construction of the home to distract his wife from her grief. A ballroom, which runs the length of the house on the 4th floor of the manor, was the main addition to the house during this renovation. Turrets and gargoyles were also added to the I don't know how to say that word, actually.
What is it?
Edifice? Edifices?
I don't know.
I'm going to go with that. But turrets and gargoyles were also added to the edifice's facade. Or, I think it's facade.
You'd be so dangerous if you could read.
I know! I know! Anyways, adding to the castle-like appearance of the house would be those gargoyles and shit. I don't know what a turret is. What is a turret?
I don't
Google
really know.
University makes it possible.
It's like something on the roof, I think.
I've always just thought of turrets being like weapons.
I think that's what it is.
Why would you have weapons and gargoyles on the roof?
Yeah, a turret is the little tower thing I was talking about.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Not you knowing something. Period. All right, so there are rumors that hidden passageways, concealed rooms, and hidden doors were also added during these renovations.
That'd be sick.
Though none of these secret places have ever been found.
If you built a house, would you also build like secret rooms and shit?
Without a fucking doubt.
I
100%.
wouldn't, right? Yeah.
Because when you think about it, if you were to build a house and had secret rooms, secret tunnels, all that shit,
Secret tunnel.
you could literally have one of the safest houses ever. Because if you get robbed, they're not going to know to open the fucking bookcase or whatever.
On the bookcase wall.
That's the only thing I think about whenever I hear of like secret doors.
Yeah, same.
It's
or
a
like
fucking bookcase every time. Every time. Because like
pulled a specific book.
it's giving if all right. Say you had a bookcase door thing and you had to pull a specific book. What would the topic of the book be? Mine would for sure be porn.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about what book you'd have to
What
pull.
kind of book? What would be the secret book?
A thesaurus, because no one's ever gonna fucking touch it.
You're right. Maybe I should not do porn because everyone's gonna gravitate
Exactly.
towards that.
Yeah, probably.
You're right. Like addiction. The
Yeah.
Bible.
Bible.
The
yeah.
Bible.
No,
You
because
would never read for that.
some people will pick it up for like a joke too, though. Like something that's completely off the table. No one's gonna pick up a fucking thesaurus.
Yeah, thesaurus. That would definitely be it.
Well,
For the previously stated reasons.
if any of our listeners are hearing this and you are considering making a bookcase hidden door thing,
Don't do porn.
Yeah, consider not
Make
having
it a
the
thesaurus.
porn.
No one will
be-
touch that shit.
Yeah. Let's not do porn as our secret handle. We're going to do a thesaurus because who in the fuck? When's the last time you opened a thesaurus?
Never.
What even is a thesaurus?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck the difference between a dictionary and a thesaurus is.
I would know, but I can't read.
They both have fucking words in them. I don't know. Like,
Well, I think that is the premise of books. They have words. Anyways. So, according to these rumors, the hidden passageways, if they exist, were used by Hans Tiedemann to meet with his mistress for an illicit love affair and perhaps even to commit murder. Naughty Hans. Naughty Hans. According to the rumors, Hans Tiedemann allegedly murdered his own niece in one of these hidden passageways. According to the legend, Mr. Tiedemann hung his niece from a rafter in a hidden tunnel leading away from the ballroom on the 4th floor. This is what I heard about when I was younger. Like growing up, we always heard about the hanging of the niece. But I will say, growing up, they told us that it was from, or at least whoever was feeding us this information, they always said that it was from a like staircase banister. So who knows? Because we can't even find these fucking passageways. So we digress.
That's
what if
crazy.
there's still a body in there?
Dude, that's crazy how they can't find him still.
What if there's a body in there?
How do you not find him yet?
Dude, if these fucking... All right, just as a reference, since nobody fucking asked, behind us, while we're recording, I'm playing Adventures with Purpose. And if these dudes can find dead bodies in cars in the bottom of rivers and lakes, we can find a passageway in a fucking building that is empty.
Like...
You have sonar. You can tell where it's empty.
Even if you, like... Even if you, like, don't have that, like, you could even, not, like, so much
I think we're smarter
it,
than Hans.
Not, like, gut it, but, like, you know, like, check, like, back, like, behind walls
You
and
can
stuff.
poke a hole through a wall.
Yeah.
You got a drill? You ever
it.
heard of a drill before?
Fuck it. Like, you can just patch it up. It's fine.
I think at this point, in our ripe age of 2022, I think we might be smarter than Hans. You know?
Just
I
maybe
feel
a
like we
little
could
bit.
find it.
Yeah, I feel like we could find it.
I do digress, though. Anyways.
Like, they don't want to fuck up, like, the inside of the house or anything.
Like,
to
I
find
get it.
I get that, too, but, like, at the same time, it's like, secret passage.
All right. Well, anyways, so the niece was supposedly insane, and if the rumors are true, he may have done it to put her out of her misery. Other versions of the story claim that this woman wasn't Mr. Tiedemann's niece at all, but rather his illegitimate daughter, Karen. Ah, of course it's a fucking Karen. Of course it's a fucking Karen.
Illegitimate daughter.
Perhaps she was murdered because of a dispute between Mr. Tiedemann and her mother, or to cover up Mr. Tiedemann's indiscretions. Some people claim that Karen's ghost still wanders the halls of the house. Another rumor says that Hans Tiedemann also had a mistress, one of his servants, named Rachel. Wow, she sounds hot.
Scandalous.
Scandal. Legend has it that Rachel was about to marry another man when Mr. Tiedemann murdered her on her wedding day out of jealousy. Many investigators speculate that Rachel may be the woman in black who is said to haunt the tower room. Spooky!
Dun, dun, dun.
Spooky! Hans Tiedemann's wife, Louise, eventually passed away from liver failure. Though there are those who speculate that Mr. Tiedemann may have had something to do with Louise's passing. After her passing, Hans sold the house to a local brewing family named Mulhauser. Then he moved to a grander home on Lake Road with his new wife. He got a new wife? What a dick.
Okay, damn.
What a dick.
Oh, he definitely killed her.
He definitely killed her. You got a new wife? Anyways, within a year, he divorced his second wife. Well, had I just read a little bit more. Anyways, so he divorced his second wife, leaving her with none of his fortune. Oh, this guy's a douchebag.
He signed that prenup, dog.
What a douche. Do you think prenups existed back then?
Probably.
I feel like...
I'm certain they could have made some sort of legal document like that.
Well, maybe, but I also feel like you could get away with murder pretty easily back in the 1800s. So why get a prenup, or why run the risk of her
Like,
saying
do I
something?
write a term, an agreement page, or do I just kill this bitch?
Literally, because who the fuck's gonna catch you? You had to be fucking stupid
To be caught.
if you were caught back in the day.
Yeah, that's true. Like, for real. Like, how are they going to track you?
Literally, like, I was just today listening to a podcast episode where they were talking about shit like this, and it's like, you had to be so stupid to get caught. Like, they didn't have fucking DNA. They didn't have none of that shit, dog. They didn't have a database, nothing.
Sheesh.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, like...
You had to go out of your way to get booked.
Just reminds me of, like, the
Sounds
Wild
like-
West for some reason, you know?
Yeah,
Just
like,
extremely lawless.
it's lawless. It's fucking lawless, dude. Man, I can't even imagine living back in that time. That's so weird to me. Anyway, So, he left her with none of the fortune. By 1908, Hans was the only member of his family left. He passed away from a stroke with no one left for whom to leave his fortune. I don't know why I couldn't read that. But he didn't have anyone to give his fortune to. So he just died with it. And you know what? Nobody wants your filthy fucking fortune. Take it with you. So, let's go ahead and move on to the second half where it says the German Socialist Party occupation of Franklin Castle. The Mulhauser family sold the castle to the local German Socialist Party in 1913. It was supposedly used by them to conduct meetings and to host parties. There were rumors that the socialists may have actually been using the house as a spy headquarters during the World War I. World War One.
No, the World War One.
The World War One. A German shortwave radio was eventually found hidden in the rafters of the house years later. Allegedly, the secret passages in the house were the scene of a gruesome murder during the time the German Socialist Party owned the house. So somebody found the passageways. And if the Germans can do it, I think we could probably put our 3 brain cells together and do it.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure.
More like 2.5. I'm losing them by the moment.
Period. Let's just, safe bet, we'll just say 2.
That's fair.
I think there's got to be at least 2 brain cells between the 3 of us. I know that's a hefty thought.
I mean,
1.75.
Deal.
Take it or leave it.
I'll
Deal,
take that.
deal, deal.
Take it or leave it. All right. So during this time, Franklin Castle may have been the site of a politically motivated mass murder. It is claimed that a group was machine gunned down during a dispute in this house. Some witnesses claim that ghosts continue to have political discussions in this house. Man, I'm telling you what, right now. I'm telling you right the
How
fuck
are they
now.
getting political as ghosts, dog?
Look.
What is the politics like in the afterlife?
If I ever got haunted by a ghost that was in the corner talking politics, that would just piss me off more than anything. Because what the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know about any of the current political shit going on. Tell me about Trump. You met him? Yeah, that's what I thought. Fucking weirdo. Get back in your fucking wall. Anyway, I don't know why the thought of that pisses me off. Like, what are they saying? What are they saying? Ugh. Anyway, during the time the German Socialist Party owned the house, there was a long stretch of time when the house was likely unoccupied, though it is likely that the owners rented parts of the house out at various times. During an interview in the 1970s, a nurse claimed that she had once visited the house during the 1930s to care for an ailing attorney. While in the house at night, she was often frightened by the sound of a small child crying. Even 40 years later, after her last visit to Franklin Castle, this nurse claimed that she would never step foot in the home again. So growing up, we always heard about these babies crying. So the biggest things were that we knew there were passageways, there were secret rooms, there were tunnels, but we also always heard about the damn babies crying, which is weird to me because, like, I don't think he had too many, like, babies. Like, they actually got to be, like, kid size. So, whatever. And then we always heard about the fucking niece or whatever getting hung from the banister or from wherever the hell she was. Look at them goddamn... Oh, they're gone. There were storks on the side of... Never mind. I have severe ADHD. You see them? You see them out in the distance? They're just doing stork stuff? Wow.
Birds and shit.
They're just pulling a Kia Soul out of the lake. Anyway. So moving on. The Romano family. So the German Socialist Party eventually sold the property to Mr. and Mrs. Romano, who moved into the house with their 6 children in 1968. On the day that the family moved into the Franklin Castle, Miss Romano sent her children to play upstairs in the house. They soon came back down to ask for a cookie to share with their new friend, a little girl who was upstairs crying. Mrs. Romano went upstairs to look for the little girl, but she was nowhere to be found. It's because it's a ghost, Miss Romano. The Romanos also often heard organ music. Yeah. I don't know why, but that word didn't seem real to me. Organ. I know it's some sort of piano type shit, but I also think of my kidneys. organ music coming from. I mean, y'all just heard my bowels making movements, so I digress. They were making their own music. So organ music coming from the different parts of the house, as well as footsteps in the hallways and on the stairs, disembodied voices, and the eerie sounds of people talking and dancing in the former ballroom. The Romano children would often speak of playing with imaginary friends in the house. Miss Romano also reported finding clothing dating in the early 1990s in random spots throughout the house. At one point, the Romano family hired a Catholic priest to investigate their home after a few too many supernatural occurrences. The priest declined to perform an exorcism, but he did claim to feel an evil presence in the house and advised that the family move as soon as possible. The family did not heed the priest's warning and instead consulted a paranormal research organization. Watch it just be the Ghost Adventures.
Eat my ass.
Eat my ass, ghost. Northeast Ohio Psychical Research Group. Allegedly, these professional ghost hunters ran from the home screaming in the middle of their investigation. Well, you know what? That just sounds like they're pansies, because if Zach Bagans can do it, anyone can. Eat my ass, ghost. By 1974, the Romano family had had enough of the ghostly occurrences in their home and sold the Franklin Castle to a man named Sam Muscatello. I know quite a few people with the Muscatello last name. So
It's an interesting one.
it is an interesting one. But anyways, it just keeps going on talking about if this castle is truly haunted or not. But I am going to stop there because I think we all know that this place is fucking haunted.
Seems like it. A lot of people died.
A lot of people died in this fucking building. And who's to say what else is behind those goddamn walls?
Or how many other bodies.
Or how many other bodies are behind those walls? I want to know
Especially-
what's in the crawl spaces.
I just want to see if there's like secret room there. I really want to go. Like, I want to figure this out. Like, it's like it's like
there.
an escape room, you know?
It is. And you know what? A couple of years ago, so we were just
You ever
talking
done
about
one of those?
this. An escape room?
Yeah, I've never done one either.
We were just talking about this probably about 30 minutes ago. But I used to have a website where I used to post a bunch of abandoned abandoned buildings on the website, talk about them, all that shit. And I was planning on doing the Franklin Castle because it was so close. And I got in touch with somebody that owned the building at the time, but they never fucking let me in. So I never did get to see the inside of the Franklin Castle myself. But another building that we'll talk about in a little bit, I did actually go into, and I'm going to pull up my old website and talk about it. But while I take a quick breather because I talk too damn much, I'm going to have Jake go ahead and share his little haunted place.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about, Jake?
I am going to talk about this place that's in Ohio called Helltown.
Sounds spooky.
Yeah, so it was formerly known as Boston or whatever, Boston Township. That was its original name, but apparently that part of the town is just its nickname. No idea why.
Helltown?
Yeah. No idea why.
I've heard a lot about Helltown, but I've never been there.
Yeah, so it's like really like it's like a creepy place. So like there's like it's like really like it's like there's like a stop like mark or whatever like in the road, and you like can't get past it. It's I think it's like 2 miles down the road or something still. Like it's like a big radius is like cut off from it.
Yeah, it's got like one of those like, you know, when you go into like a parking garage in downtown, it has like that big arm on it. It's
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, except it's got like
realistically I could go in there if I tried hard enough.
yeah, that place is really spooky. Like there's like a church there, and it's got like an upside down cross and stuff.
Period.
And that's why people like sometimes refer to it as Helltown and stuff as well. There's like a bus there as well, like a broken down bus.
Period.
The whole town was like forced basically to evacuate in 1974 or something. Yeah, 1974.
Why?
Because there's I can't really seem to find like a real reason why, because like there's like two theories, and like the one was for like they wanted to clear it out because they were worried about like deforestation, like supposedly.
Okay.
And they wanted to make it a national park.
Imagine Helltown being a national park.
Yeah.
What? I would never.
They wanted to make like the space, and they wanted to like tear down like the houses or something like that, but they just like I don't know if I think they've torn down some houses since then, but I don't know if it's everything.
Imagine having like just full access, like I'm working and I get to go to Helltown. I would hate that. I'd be so mad if like I'm one of the only people.
I feel like
if
they made it a park though, I don't think they would have like made it called Helltown, you know?
Well, yeah, because that's quite a daunting name,
right?
Helltown.
Because it's not like I don't think it's not like called that on like Google Maps or anything. I don't even think it's on the map anymore. If it were, it would probably just be called Boston.
It's literally just Boston.
Yeah.
Isn't there? Wait, this is just.
Actually,
Yeah, Peninsula or whatever.
You want to hear a weird story about Peninsula, Ohio? I went there one time to pick up a piranha. I went to Peninsula to get a piranha that I found on Craigslist, and I pulled up. This man fished it out of this big ass fish tank and put it in like a tiny little like glass, like 5-gallon jar thing. And he was just like, here. And we had to hold this damn piranha and hope that it didn't get out in the car for an hour. That's my only experience with Peninsula. That's where I got my first piranha. And if you know me, you know I love piranhas. I'm piranha mama.
It's true.
Anyways. I digress.
So like the other theory too is that like the government says that there was like a chemical spill there and the whole town needed to evacuate. But I
would believe that.
But there's still like debate as if it even actually happened or not.
See, that's so interesting because I know a lot of like abandoned towns that like literally they all just get kicked out for like something so weird. Like there's this one town that the entire fucking town got evacuated and like they never came back because of like a lead exposure thing. And then I don't know, there's so many places. Like my friend Johnny, who we're trying to get on the podcast, he's down, we just got to find a time. But we used to run around and visit all these abandoned buildings and stuff, and he's been to a lot of these like just desolate, fully evacuated like towns that were evacuated for like stupid shit, like water main bursts and like lead shit. Like, so I'm excited to have him on so he can share some shit. But I digress. Go on.
But yeah, after they like forced them to evacuate, the theory of them like with the toxic spill, supposedly it like mutated, like people, like supposedly there were like mutations and stuff like that as well.
It's kind of like Pripyat.
No, I don't think it's like that. I
want to go to Pripyat so bad.
That would be pretty neat, like some Chernobyl stuff. Yeah.
If you didn't know, the Chernobyl fucking nuclear disaster is in a place called Pripyat. But I want to go there really bad. No, you can only take a little bit of radiation. You know, they give you Geiger counters and they give you lead.
That's like the
scarves.
worst way to die, by the way.
Probably.
It is.
But
yeah.
Those tour guides, man, I'm sure they're probably fucked up. Anyway. Go on. I need to shut the fuck up. Yeah, what I need.
The residents had to leave due to a quote-unquote chemical spill. But yeah, so not entirely sure. Basically, there's like I've gotten those two theories, and I can't seem to like look into them either further because they all just be like, "Yep, this is the theory. That's it."
And a theory is a collection.
Basically. But yeah, that place is really creepy. A lot of people there at night, like even like around the town, like around the town, like in Helltown, the people who've gone there and stuff, like see like ghost faces and stuff in like windows and stuff. Like there was a orphanage house there too that burned down. Mood. And like all like the children inside like burned
Yikes.
With it and
I
died.
take back my mood. Isn't there a crybaby bridge at Helltown? I'm pretty sure.
I just read it. There is one.
There is.
Okay. So there's a crybaby bridge at Helltown.
I don't even know this, honestly.
But you know what's really weird is that there's something about Ohio where it's like there's a million fucking crybaby bridges. There's one in like Medina. Y'all ever been to Chippewa Lake?
No.
That place is kind of spooky too.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's like
I have a whole passage
there's
about
this
that.
tunnel called the Moonvale Tunnel in Cincinnati, and it's like and it's like supposedly haunted and stuff. And supposedly you can see supposedly there's a ghost that you can see that walks around there with like a lantern and stuff. He's trying to like catch the train because apparently he died and he fell on the tracks.
It's probably a flush pedestrian, if I had to guess.
Yeah, there's places like all over that are haunted. There's haunted places in Columbus. There's like a million
Ohio
haunted
is
places
so
up
sketchy,
here.
bro.
Yeah, it is.
I love it here.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
a perfect place to host Sketchfest, if you ask me.
It's the ultimate survival.
It's a fucking lawless wasteland, is what it is. So what else can you tell us about Helltown, or is that pretty much the gist of it?
I mean, there's like a lot of like creepy photos that people have taken and stuff like that as well. That we
It's
should
all just
definitely.
me.
It's all just you.
All just me in the
background.
corner.
Yeah. There's
With my horse teeth.
Your what?
My horse teeth?
Horse teeth.
I have horse teeth. That's why I got lip filler, so I can hide most of it.
There's a bunch of creepy stuff that's happened there. Like, there's
I'm
been
not all gum, though.
People have had like people have seen and like heard people like chanting inside like the church and stuff like that, and like there's like a fire lit in there and shit. Like
A fire in a church? Wow.
well, they were like there's like
wow.
The whole thing is there's like apparently like a satanic cult goes there like in the church and does like rituals and stuff.
Mood.
Yeah.
There's something about that I just shivers me timbers.
There's just a bunch of creepy shit around there. Like there's a barn in there. There's like nothing in there. There's just a noose just hanging, just chilling there, and it's been there.
Noose.
It's been there for like ever.
Oh, a prehistoric noose?
Prehistoric noose.
I'm like, I don't even know how old it is. Have you been there?
I've been there once.
And how did it make you feel? What did anything
It was
cool
fucking,
happen to you?
So it took us a long time to fucking walk there because you had to like park your car like fucking like a mile or 2 miles out, and walking there was a bitch. We get there, I mean, like the whole time it's fucking, it's dark as shit, and like we don't want to like bring out flashlights because we don't want like anyone to like see us and shit. So
Period.
it's like super sketchy walking into there.
Sketchfest.
We walk in and it's the more you keep going, like the eerier the feeling was for sure.
And that's on period.
And I feel like that was just like knowing that like this place is like fucking abandoned. It's fucking creepy. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna see here. And like
Yeah,
that place
I think
is
that's
wild.
the worst part.
That place
when
is
I
wild.
when I used to explore abandoned buildings, I think the scariest part, besides not knowing if you were going to fall through the floor, was not knowing what you were going to find.
I mean, I feel like that's just the ultimate thing, is the unknown, is like what you're really fearing. Like you don't know
Fear of
what
the
the fuck could be there. You don't know who's there, what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's spooky because I mean anything can happen, especially in Ohio where like our homeless population is very high. A lot of homeless people take solace in places that are already abandoned because who the fuck's going to be in there?
Yeah.
But then dumbasses like us that go into abandoned buildings, sometimes we just get met with these motherfuckers, and it's either one way or the other. It's either they're really fucking cool or you get hurt somehow. So I think it is scary, especially like I would imagine that Helltown would be really scary because it's not like a building. It's just like
I feel
area.
like the more I feel like I was like more scared because like it was just so fucking dark over there, and like
you guys went at night.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna go during the day because like I think there's like sheriffs and shit that go around there all the time. Mind you, the one I went, this was like 2015, 16 probably.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah, but yeah. Once you got into the town, started seeing the buildings, it like kind of like hit you. You were like, oh shit. You're like, oh my god.
Get a little bit of impending doom.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that's what it felt like. And then like
It's
I
like a
saw
band.
I saw like the church and shit, and I was just like, yeah, this is.
There's something about
it's
like,
super stressful, honestly. I don't really do shit
I
like
was fucking
that.
stressed out.
Well, I don't really do shit like that. So like for me, I was just like,
Well, you're also a homebody, so
Yeah, that's
I
true.
get it. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to go there, but never say never.
We left like really fast. Like we did not want to stay there. We were like, fuck this.
I do digress. Well, that is sounds like a sketchy place.
I don't even think you can. I think it's pretty much impossible to get there now, though. Like, I think, like, the security around there now is just, like, crazy, apparently. I don't know.
I'm sure of
It's just
it.
what I've heard.
Well, I mean, they kind of have to crack down on places like that because if it's just a place that's been sitting for too long or it's abandoned or
I would
whatever.
love to go to, like, an abandoned, like, asylum or something. Like,
I've been to many of them.
I know you have.
They're scary. There's something about going into like an abandoned like hospital or like asylum of sorts that just hits so different.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you walk in
like,
and it's impending fucking doom.
What's like the favorite place you've ever been to? That's like, what's like the scariest place you ever been to? Like you actually like felt like fucking mortified, you know, like walking in.
Let's see. I've been to so many places and like, I don't know, like there's a lot of buildings that were scary, but then there's a lot of houses that were scary. So like if I had to say like the most mortifying place that I've ever been was a house. It was an abandoned house in Georgia. And like while we were in there, like you can't even see this house from the road. It was so overgrown. Trees were fucking.
Oh, it was just like in the forest.
It wasn't even in the forest though. Like it's on like a main road, but it's at the corner of a road and there's so many trees just overgrown and bushes, like you wouldn't even know there's a house there.
Oh wow.
Unless you stood at a certain angle and you could only see the chimney.
Weird.
So that was the most mortifying place I've ever been, and I actually have a whole story about it that I can read at a later date. But we were in there for a while and it was just so scary. You just felt like gross. You just felt heavy. And you could tell that this house was abandoned probably in like the 70s. It gave off 70 vibes. Like they had the big tube TVs. Mm-hmm. They had like those old like Pepsi cans still on the counter that were like from the 70s.
Wow.
It was fucked. And like they weren't even open, which was weird. But what made me feel the grossest is when I was standing in the living room and I was taking a picture of the like window because it was really cool. And this like closet off to the side, I heard movement in it and I was like, we're about to die. So like at that moment I'm like, I immediately think there's a person in there, but then I'm like, what if it's a raccoon or whatever the fuck. But that place really just made my guts turn. But if I'm talking about like an actual like, if we're talking about like asylums or something that I've been to, I would say the scariest place that I've been to is probably, well, I almost got arrested at the Riverside hospital in Toledo. It wasn't that scary, but it was very weird. But I would say probably this place called St. Mary's Manor, and it was in New York. So it was in Niagara, New York. Mm-hmm. And it was an old folks home, and it was like a hospital at the same time. That place made my stomach hurt, but it was beautiful. I can actually share pictures of that at some point on the Instagram, but that place made my guts hurt for sure. Mm-hmm. So those two places were probably the scariest. But Riverside was kind of scary just because I almost went to jail.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that place was fucking weird. But I've been to a lot of scary places. One of the places that I'm about to talk about now, when I went there, that place gave me the heebie-jeebies. But it was in the middle of nowhere. I swear to God.
Hey y'all, it's me, Chelsea. Unfortunately, we had to cut this episode in half today. I know, what a bummer. But after all was said and done, this episode of Haunted Ohio ended up being about 2.5 hours. I know, right? Crazy. But that's okay, because next week we're going to follow up and we're going to finish some more of our Haunted Ohio, stories. And you know what? This might even become a staple here at Sketchfest. We love Haunted Ohio. Anyway, with that being said, please do us a favor. Go ahead and follow us on all of our social media platforms. We've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we got Facebook, we got YouTube, and it's all just at Sketchfest Podcast. And if you want to send us in any of your sketchy stories so that we could read it on Sketchfest, please do so. We want you to email us with the sketchiest story of yours. Make it as long and juicy, that is what she said, as you want. Email it to sketchfestpodcast@gmail.com. And hopefully, if you're lucky, you know what, I'm not even going to front with you. We'll probably just read it on the podcast. So yeah, do us a favor, follow us on all of our social media platforms, and email us with your sketchy stories today. Until next time, I love you. Bye.